So in this class, we will discuss few more aspects related to the cosmetic regulation. Now, till now, what we have discussed is like we have discussed the regulation regarding the manufacturing, sales, distribution of cosmetic products. Okay. So first of all, before starting this class, I want to know whether my slides they are visible to you. Can you hear me? Hello students, can you hear me?
Yes,
यस
ma'am.
मैम
And my slides
मैम स्लाइड्स हो रही है
slides are visible?
यस मैम
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So in the last class we have discussed the regulation aspect related to the manufacturing of this cosmetic products. What are the basic requirement that the licensee has to fulfill? Like they have to form number 31 uh, just to gain the license, and then the inspectors, usually the state government authority, they appoint inspectors, and then these inspectors they visit the premises and they just inspect whether there is the availability of adequate space, equipment, and the facility, whatever the things they are required for the manufacturing of cosmetic product, whether they are there. So inspectors they are appointed. Uh, they see whether all the basic requirement of equipment is fulfilled, whether the adequate space is there, and the licensee has to file all the this thing details about the firm, then details about the equipment, and so all this we have discussed in the last class. So then we have also discussed the minimum staff requirement, that is a qualified staff should be there for the manufacturing of cosmetic. Then all this they are mentioned in Drug and Cosmetic Act, that is before starting cosmetic manufacturing, a manufacturer has to apply for the license, and this licensing authority is the state government, or then if the inspector they find all the basic facility, if it is available, they can award the license to them, and then we have also discussed the regulation regarding the import of cosmetic, that is the cosmetic which we import to India. It should not be of spurious quality. It should not be misbranded. It should not be, say, misleading label. It should not contain any misleading label. So all this we have discussed in the last class. Okay. So now we will discuss few more things regarding this. Um, So, like the particulars to be shown in manufacturing record, that is the manufacturer who is manufacturing different type of cosmetic product, they should maintain a manufacturing record, that is under Schedule U. So the record of serial number of the product, name of the product, batch size, batch number, name of the all ingredient along with the quantity used, then the actual production, packaging particulars, indicating the size and the quality of finished packaging, all this, the detail about each batch, regarding the serial number, batch number, everything should be recorded by the manufacturer along with the final signature of the expert staff responsible for the manufacturing. That is the detail regarding who or the particular person who is responsible for the manufacturing of that particular batch. So all the detail regarding the manufacturing record should be there for the cosmetics. cosmetic product. That means similarly, as in case of drug delivery system, manufacturing of drug products, we do in a similar way for the cosmetic. The manufacturing record must be maintained. Clear to everybody? Next is whatever the regulation which we are implementing is just to improve the safety standard. So every country they frame rules and regulation and launch. So in India, the controlling body is City-School. So to improve the safety standards, like to launch any cosmetic in India or to import any cosmetic in India, they have to get the approval with the data on safety and awareness. Sorry, effectiveness. So that is the product is safe and effective. For this purpose, we are doing the regulation of cosmetic product. Now, all the cosmetics sold in India must comply with the Bureau of Indian Standard (BIS) labeling norms. That is, they have to fulfill all the norms which are being made by Bureau of Indian Standards. They have to fulfill. Okay, and it should not contain any false or misleading information or idea. Then, so all this there. Next is in the last class also we have discussed this thing, offense and penalty. Okay, so this we'll discuss in more detail, like penalty of manufacturing, sales, etc. That is whatever the penalty which are mentioned under the Drug and Cosmetic Act, which we have discussed in the last class very briefly. We'll discuss them in little bit details. Okay, so any person who himself or any other person on his behalf manufacture for sales or distribution or sales or for stocking uh, they may be implemented a penalty if a cosmetic deemed to be spurious under the section 17D, or that is if the cosmetic product is spurious or adulterated under the section 17E, shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, and with a fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees or 3 times to the value of cosmetic uh, investigate, whichever is more. Means, what does it means? Like in section 17D, spurious product, cosmetic product, and in section 17E, adulterated cosmetic product. They are, that is what are adulterated and what are spurious. They are defined. So if a person um, or any company or anyone who is manufacturing cosmetic product which is spurious or adulterated can be punishable with the imprisonment along with the fine of about 50,000 rupees. Okay, okay. So that is any next one is any cosmetic other than the cosmetic referred in the class 1, that is if it is not adulterated or spurious, and even if it violates the law. Okay, if even a person if he is not manufacturing any spurious or adulterated cosmetic, and if he is infringing the laws or if he is violating the law which is mentioned, or he is violating the law which are framed in Drug and Cosmetic Act, then even he is punishable with the imprisonment of term which may be 1 year, or will be fine of rupees 20,000 rupees and all that. Okay, so that means even if the manufacturer or the importer, whoever, they are just violating the laws which are mentioned under the Drug and Cosmetic Act, then also they are um, they this is an offense and they have to uh, mm, pay a penalty for that. Okay, so, who shall be the accused? So, the owner of the organization, that is the owner of the company, or if the company is in the partnership, then every partner, including director, every person responsible for the day-to-day activities in the company or the organization, every person who was in charge when the offense was committed, including the employees of the company, all they are accused of that offense. Clear to everybody? Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Means if there are two partner or three partner in the same company, then if they are the offense is being committed, then each and every person is responsible for that offense, and they have to pay or they have to uh, pay suffer for that. Okay, so that means uh, the person who was involved in the committing the offense, all they are being uh, punished for that. Okay, so similar thing is there also, like that is the same, all the same information is there in the previous slide. Okay, next we'll discuss the comparison between the three different countries, that is USA, United States of America, European Union, and India. So comparison of cosmetic regulation. In this slide you can see. So the authority which is providing the cosmetic regulation in USA is FDA. Then in European Union is EMEA, and in India CDSCO. Okay, so rules and regulation framed by Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act in USA, Council Directive 76 by 768. Um, EEC this is the European Medical Agency. Okay, then for India, the regulation is provided under the Drug and Cosmetic Act. So next is pre-market approval is not required in USA and European Union, whereas it is required under the state government licensing. That is before launching into the market, uh, they need to get approved or licensed that product under the this thing, our drug and cosmetic act. Next is expiry date. So expiry date is not required. Sorry, expiry date is no date is required and under the FDA regulation. And in case of European Union, the date of minimum durability of 30 months is required, or less than 30 months is required. And whereas in case of Indian regulation, uh, label should contain use before date. That is, the date must be mentioned. Expiry date is usually mentioned in the cosmetic product which are being sold in India. Okay, next is post-market reporting system is not applicable in India and European Union, whereas it is applicable in USA. under the voluntary cosmetic registration program. Next, we will discuss the comparison between the definition of cosmetic as per Indian norms and as per USA norms. So, as we have already discussed that the cosmetic means the article which are being rubbed, poured, sprinkled, sprayed or introduced into or otherwise applied on human body or any part for cleaning, beautification, promoting attractiveness or altering the appearance, and includes any article intended to be used component of cosmetic. Now, if we talk about the definition as per US FDA, articles intended to be rubbed, poured, sprinkled, or sprayed on, introduced into, or otherwise applied to human body or any part, therefore, for cleaning, cleansing, beautifying, promoting attractiveness, or altering the appearance, and the article intended for use as a component of any such article, except that such term shall not include soap. That means in this USFDA cosmetics soaps, they are not included in cosmetic products here, whereas under the Indian norms, soaps, they are the part of cosmetic products here. Next is, if we see uh, the list of coloring agent, UV filters, and preservatives. All these, they are the ingredients which are being added into the cosmetic products. Then the control over these ingredients, they are required in both the norms, that is US FDA as well as Indian norms. Both, they usually regulates or controls the type of color. We know that there are some approved color and non-approved colors also. Okay, and then that is all these three items, they are being controlled. Okay, next is there is a list of prohibited and restricted substance. So under both India as well as in US, few of the chemicals, they are being totally restricted in cosmetic products. Then next is scientific advisory committee. So if we talk about with respect to India, the advisory committee, basically the regulating committee is your CDSCO. Then next is drug consultative committee, drug technical advisory board, and Bureau of Indian Standard. All these, they regulates um, the, or they are responsible for implementing drug and cosmetic act. Okay, notification of ingredients to poison center, so not required. Next is uh, now in US FDA, labeling of ingredient is required, whereas under India it is not required. That is, label should contain ingredients along with the quantities in case of US FDA, whereas in India it is not mandatory. Okay, then quantity labeling, that is, it is mandatory. Again, that is whenever we prepare the label of the cosmetic, we propose the name of the ingredient as well as the quantity. That is, it is mandatory in case of US FDA, whereas it is not mandatory in case of uh, India. Okay, then in India we propose the expiry date in the form of use before particular date. Okay, then next is the sunscreens, anti-perspirant preparation. They are kept under the OTC products in the US FDA, whereas these are kept under the cosmetic preparation under the Indian regulation. Clear? So sunscreen and antiperspirant both are your cosmetic preparation. In the similar way, anti-dandruff shampoos or anti-dandruff preparation, they are cosmetic under the Indian regulation, whereas they can be drug and cosmetic under the US FDA. So antibacterial face wash or skin washes, all they are claimed to be as drug in case of US FDA, whereas they are OTC or cosmetic preparation under the Indian regulation. Then anti-aging lotions, mouthwash, they are also kept under the cosmetic preparation. Toothpaste, fluoride containing toothpaste, they are kept as a cosmetic in India. So actually, sometimes few of the ingredients which we use in cosmetic, they have mild therapeutic action. So in the very first lecture we have discussed about the cosmeceuticals. So what are cosmeceuticals? Cosmeceuticals are, or we can say the cosmeceutical word is derived from the two words, that is cosmetic, and ceuticals means drugs. So when we combine a drug along with a cosmetic product, we call them cosmeceuticals. Okay, so fluoride containing toothpaste, they are cosmeceutical products. So as such, Indian regulation, they are kept in cosmetic, whereas under the US FDA, they can be considered as in two different category, drug and cosmetic. Okay, so next is, this we have already discussed. So next is color additive safety requirement. They are mentioned in Code of Federal Regulation 21 under the 73, 74 and 81, 82 section. Okay, labeling declaration is given in Code of Federal Regulation 21 under 701 and 740, whereas in case of Indian regulation, labeling declaration is given under BIS and this thing. Okay, then labeling language should be English. Okay, now if we compare the nomenclature of color, henna is usually not listed as hair color, but in case of US FDA, henna is listed as a hair color only. Now we'll discuss few of the examples of labels. Okay, like in this we can see, this is the label of shower gel wash. Okay, so what we can see is the different parts of labels, they are mentioned in this particular slide. So product identity is there, which is showing this particular label belongs to the shower gel. So the statement of what the product is the product identity. Okay, next is the symbol which tells you, that is finger pointing symbol, which tells you elsewhere in the packaging for the additional information. For example, one leaflet, card, or tag. That is, if there is any leaflet or card or tag which is giving you further more information about that product, that can be there. Okay, then name and the location of the manufacturer or distributor is there. Then your warning caution, we can see usage precautions. Warning caution is mentioned on the label. Then a list of ingredients are mentioned, all the ingredients along with the quantity. Again, here the quantity is mentioned, is mandatory in case of US FDA, whereas it is not mandatory in case of Indian regulation. Okay, then country of origin, net content, then period after opening, what is the period of, or the shelf life of the product after opening the product. So all this information is included in the label. Okay, so next we'll discuss the label of this thing, soothing cream. face mist, sorry, soothing face mist. So again, brand name is there, product identity is there, or product name is there, net content is there, then manufacturer or distributor name is there, ingredient. So similar way, the label is designed. Okay, so this is the example of body lotion, hand and body lotion. Okay, so this much is clear to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we'll
Yes, ma'am.
move forward to the importance of microbial preservation of cosmetic product. That is, we all know that the stability of the product, it depends on the microbial load. So the cosmetic and beauty products are made up of ingredients that are biodegradable, and we use different type of ingredients. Some are from the that is, some are, few of them, they are herbal ingredient. Then that is, we use different type of raw material for the preparation of cosmetic product. So, and the second thing is, when the consumer use a cosmetic product, beauty product, or personal care products, they repeatedly challenge the cosmetic or products by the contamination. Okay, that is, whenever we are using the cosmetic product, there is a chance of contamination. So this can cause the product become unpleasant or unsafe to the consumer. That is, again, we can say the source of contamination in the cosmetic product can be brought about by two different means. We can say, while manufacturing, if we are not following proper procedure, then it can be contaminated, or that is, again, procedure as well as the quality of raw material, the the whatever the staff they are there, if they are not properly trained, then also the contamination can be there. So there are various ways how the contamination can go into the cosmetic preparation. So first thing, we must know what is the sources. Then second thing, how we can overcome them. Otherwise, what will happen? The cosmetic products, if we are not controlling all these parameters, what will happen? The cosmetics, they can be unsafe to the consumers. Okay, as the contamination can be passed over to the consumer also. Okay, so uh, contamination can be during the production and filling, or during the use of cosmetic by the consumer. Okay, then to ensure the microbial safety of the cosmetic for the consumer, we have to follow particular standards of, or we can say, we have to control the microbial limit or the microbial contamination in the cosmetic preparation. To maintain the quality of the product, to confirm the hygienicity and high quality handling, it is necessary to carry out routine microbial analysis of each batch of finished product coming into the market. That is, microbial analysis is also very, very important in case of finished cosmetic product. So another thing which we use for preventing this contamination is preservative. We all know preservatives, they are the antimicrobial ingredients added into the formulation. It maintains the microbial safety of the product by inhibiting the growth of the microorganisms, and they prevent the spoilage of the product, provides a prolonged shelf life of the product, protect the consumer from possible infection. So preservatives, they are usually added. Now, the use of preservative in the cosmetic product is usually done based on the type of preparation. Like for example, there is no need to add any preservative in the solid preparation. Why? Because we all know that solid preparation, they are not that much prone for the contamination, as well as they are not that much create a the microbes, they cannot grow in the solid preparation. Then semi-solid and liquid preparation, they must contain preservatives, especially when they contain water as a content. Like for example, creams, cold creams, vanishing cream, all they contain uh, small or large, we can say large amount or large proportion of water in these preparation. So preservation of such preparation is very, very important. Okay, so most common type of preservatives which are added in cosmetic formulations are like parabens, methyl paraben, propyl paraben, formaldehyde, then isothiazole, all these. So sodium benzoate, benzoic acid, okay, potassium sorbate, all these, they are the preservative. So we will discuss this preservative is more in more detail in further classes. Okay, but next, what are the sources of contamination? Raw material, including water, uh, then manufacturing environment, including atmosphere, equipment, workspace, and manufacturing personnel. So all these, they are responsible for the quality of the finished cosmetic product. So the personnel who are working in that or who are involved in the manufacturing of cosmetics, they must be trained so that there is minimum contamination and we can eliminate most of the contamination sources. Okay, even the quality of raw materials must be selected, which is having a good quality or minimum contamination. Next, we'll talk about the limits, microbial limits on the finished cosmetic products. So finished products are tested to demonstrate that they must meet the microbial limit guidelines, that they are free from unacceptable level of contamination. मतलब कि यहाँ पे हम कॉस्मेटिक फिनिश्ड कॉस्मेटिक प्रोडक्ट को हम फाइनल प्रोडक्ट को भी हम टेस्ट करते हैं whether they meets the microbial limit guidelines or not. ठीक है, so CTFA is a cosmetic dilatory fragrance association which has mentioned these norms. There are different regulatory authority which gives different norms. In this particular slide, I've mentioned CTFA, and they have mentioned the microbiological limit guidelines, which is as follows: like baby products should not contain not more than 500 microorganisms per gram or ml of the product. That is, not, the microbial limit should not be more than 500 microorganisms per gram or per ml. Then eye care cosmetic should not contain more than 500 microorganisms per gram or per ml. For other products, the limit can be up to 1000. That is not more than 1000 microgram per microorganism per gram per ml. So this is the microbial limit mentioned by this regulatory authority, that is your Cosmetic Regulatory Fragrance Association. Okay, so this much is clear to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just stopping here.